Good afternoon, I'm Specialist Carwile. Today we'll be conducting training over locating an unknown point on the ground by resection. Your conditions today are: you are a member of a squad or team conducting tactical operations and have a requirement to determine the squad or team's current location. You have a 1 to 50,000 scale military map, a magnetic compass, a military protractor, a pencil, paper, and an item to use as a straight edge. There are at least 2 well-defined points on the ground that can be located on the map. Some iterations of this task should be performed in Mach 4. The standards: determine the grid coordinates of the unknown point to within 100 meters, include the letter 100,000 meters square identifier using either the map and compass method or straight edge method. The risk scale today is low, and just watch out your footing because it's uneven terrain, and also watch out for the wildlife, and also stay hydrated. So we're going to start off with you watching me do a demonstration. now I'm going to walk you through what I did. So for starters, as I said before, make sure you have a protractor, your compass, and a scratch piece of paper. So you're going to start off by, you have to have two known points. For me, I use the water tower, and I also use the intersection that's directly behind us with the cones. So what I did from there is I used my compass to get my angle for each one. So for the water tower, I got 115 degrees, and then for the intersection I got 235 degrees. From there, you have to subtract what your 4.6 from the angle, because on our map, when you're going from the grid to the map, you have to subtract a 4.6. From there, since the first one was lower than 180 degrees, I had to add 180 to it, so it came up to my angle being 290.4 degrees. And then for the other one, it's the opposite. Since it's over 180 degrees, I had to subtract the 180 degrees to it, and it gave me a 50.4 degree angle. So from there, I used my protractor, and for the first one with the water tower, I put the center directly over the water tower. So that would look like this right here. Water tower's right here. And then from there, I went and I got my angle, which was 290 degrees. So 290, so it's right here. I made a little line, and then I lined it up. I made sure I went past on both sides. So I went through, and then same thing for the opposite. Make sure it's lined up to the intersection, and also make sure that your 0 is pointing north on the protractor. So that's on the intersection, just like that. The next one was 50.4, so 50.4 is coming out this way. Or hold on, make sure I did that right. Yeah. Okay. So from there, lined them up, made another line, went through both sides, and then from there, where it intersects, that would be where your location is. So for us, we're here on the helipad. As you can see, it came over right over the top edge of the helipad, which is about where we're standing right now. From there, I just got my grid coordinates. So I used the proper scale and started off in my block. And then for those grid coordinates, wait, I'm backwards here. There we go. I had obtained, where did I write it down? 2135, 6665, and that's my 8 grid. And this was the compass technique. There's also the straight edge technique. It's similar. The only difference is, instead of having an actual angle, a direct angle, you're just going to line your map up with the terrain, and you're going to use your straight edge to line up with the point. So the water tower here on the map is right in this location. I will just line it up with the water tower, draw my line at the same angle, lined up, and I get the same angle there. And same thing with the intersection. I will line this up with the intersection, and I end up with the same line as well. Okay. So now I'm gonna give the soldiers 10 minutes time to do this on their own. If they have any questions, they can come to me then. Okay, 10 minutes has elapsed. Now that I've went through all the questions, I'm gonna do an evaluation over everyone. They're gonna do both types, the compass to map and also the straight edge technique. I'm gonna give them 10 minutes per evaluation, and we'll come back after that. So 10 minutes has elapsed. So at this point, everyone was a go. So we had 5 soldiers trained, 0 soldiers untrained, and 5 were proficient. If there were any that were inefficient, they would come back next week on the 14th, or week after next on the 14th of November, and we would reevaluate and go through the lesson again. So what did we do today?
We learned how to do a resection using the straight edge method and the compass to math method.
Did we accomplish that?
We did.
Okay. Is there any sustains?
Having all the supplies out and ready for everybody, that made it really easy.
Okay. Is there anything you would change?
No, I think you're good.
Okay. At this point, I will make sure I have all my supplies turned back in, and everyone is dismissed.